holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
On 1st and 10, Stern forced out to his left. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 16 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
I have to say, partner, their coaches didn't do a very good job of hiding their thoughts this week when they spoke with us, did they? They told us exactly this. We've been good on the ground, but sitting 8th in the league, we know we can kick it up a notch and push for the top 5. So there's no doubt in my mind, we'll see them trying to establish that ground game early and try and pick up an early lead.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Back to throw. Stern. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to 4th down.
It sucks for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So, I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground. Fry. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, Phillips. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Raiders at 10-4 on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Off play action. Phillips. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
On second down, Fry. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 38. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake. Phillips. He finds his man complete. That's Black. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
1st and goal from the 3. Looking to throw. Phillips. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jamar Chase with touchdown number 29. Too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Raiders put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. The last series for them a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
To throw on 3rd down, Stern. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll get this up to about the 44. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
11 touchdowns on the ground this season, and the pride really extends throughout the entire offense. And in this case, I'm focusing on the offensive line. The leverage, the ability to get downfield, make that extra block in order to give him more space to run. They really look forward to him carrying the football because they're going to get him to the end zone.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Phillips. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Stern throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's swung out wide to Harris. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let it...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they're trying to preach.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Up the middle they go. Fry. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
On 1st down, Fry. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
To throw is Phillips. Off the play fake. Wide open receiver complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big pickup of 38.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam. But notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
Come on, set.
Looking to throw. Phillips. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jamar Chase. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Off the bootleg. Stern. And it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't it?
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense could go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. And that's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
On second down, this is Harris. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Well executed there on second down. So do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility. But now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Looking to throw on second down. Stern. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 34-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Stern. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
A lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Working with a 2nd and 4. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's caught. Beckham. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Eddie Pinheiro on now. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Ready? Red, yellow.
Now Phillips on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Okay, break.
Here's Phillips throwing on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Point after here coming up. And it's 21-3. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes it. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
Phillips now throwing to start the drive. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Phillips. And he comes back with one complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Off play action. Phillips. He'll buy some time right. And that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give them a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point splits the uprights, and a route is on here in this first half. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Phillips, off play action. He finds his man complete. That's Black. And out across midfield down to the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now a play fake here on first down. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Fry. And he's got room. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders extend their lead yet again. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back.
A throw for Pittman is intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
The Colts set to take over here offensively.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Stern. Touchdown! Dawson Knox with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Colts are able to at least get one score back.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Jamar Chase over to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Rolling to his right.
Throwing for Chase on the crosser. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Third quarter action here on Christmas Day. Hope everyone's having a blessed holiday season. 2nd and 10 right now. Off the play fake. Phillips. He finds his man, complete. That's Black. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Phillips. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jamar Chase from 3 yards out. And the Raiders get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On play action, Stern. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. to the fourth quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast.
This is the National Football League.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. To throw on second down. Stern.
The toss here completed to Pittman.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And now third down and 6 to go.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
On third down, Stern. They'll roll him out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Fielded at the 20. A great return there of 22 yards.
And they will take over first and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Looking to throw. Stern.
He'll get this one to Pittman.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. The offense on third down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Stern.
And he'll find Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's good for the Colts.
On first down, Stern. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 at the Raiders' 35-yard line.
Back to throw again. He finds his target, Beckham.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Stern firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that one, that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so they're going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Being chased, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on 1st and goal.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game,
When it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. A nightmare on third and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 93 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll keep it on the ground. Fry, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle they go. Fry, and he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
To throw is Phillips. Throwing on 4th down. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart in points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Throwing on 1st down. Stern. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end.
And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Stern. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
Pinheiro's extra point up and good.
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And his throw is incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Phillips. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
He finds his man, complete. It's Black. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
First down, Las Vegas.
Back to throw. Phillips. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Now Phillips off the play fake. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of it. That's just who they are.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for Las Vegas, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Colts,
they fall under 500 now as they drop to 7-8.
And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.